Done.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are zeroing in, really focusing our energy on one big challenge, mastering the IELTS reading section.
We want to give you the absolute best roadmap for it.
We've pulled together a stack of strategies and insights that really get to the heart of how this test works. The goal is simple. Walk into that 2025 exam feeling ready, not well panicked.
Exactly.
Our mission today is to take these really effective techniques and just talk through them, give you that edge.
And look, we have to start with the elephant in the room, the thing that controls everything in this section.
Okay.
Because every single strategy we talk about, it's built to tackle this one thing. The main hurdle isn't really reading the English, it's the clock. Time management.
From 60 minutes, 40 questions.
Yeah, 60 minutes, 40 questions, often across 3 pretty dense academic texts. I mean, that pace is just brutal.
It really is. So if you don't have a solid plan, a structure to shave off seconds here and there, you will run out of time. It's almost guaranteed. So everything today, it's engineered to beat that clock.
That makes total sense. Time's the real opponent here. So, okay, let's talk about the first line of defense, this foundational skill set, skimming and scanning. Now, I think most people have heard these terms, right? But maybe they don't use them precisely enough. The absolute number one rule, of the one people fight against, you just cannot afford to read every single word.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And it actually feels quite liberating when you finally accept that.
Yeah.
But we do need to be clear on the difference. Skimming, that's what you do first. It's like a quick flyover.
Yeah.
High-level sweep, just aiming to get the main idea. What's this paragraph about? What's the whole passage generally saying? You're looking for, topic sentences, maybe names, dates, but not the tiny details.
Right, just the big picture.
Exactly. Scanning, though, that's different. That's targeted, like a searchlight. Once you've skimmed, you know roughly where the information is. You look at the question, pull out unique keywords, things that stand out, like specific numbers, names, technical terms.
Things easy to spot.
Precisely. And then your eyes just hunt for those words. You become a search engine for that specific data point.
Okay, hold on, though. I have to push back a bit here because, well, that sounds risky. If you're just skimming, aren't you worried you might miss crucial little words like, not, or never?
Yeah.
If the text says the experiment was not successful, but you only glance and see successful, that could totally mess up your answer, right?
That's a really fair point.
Yeah.
And it actually shows why you need both skills working together. You skim first to find the neighborhood, right? To locate the general area quickly. Then the question sends you back to that specific spot, say paragraph C for question 5. That's when you slow down for a second. You apply that precise scanning around the keywords you found earlier.
Ah, okay.
And you do read that sentence or two carefully. But see, it's a trade-off. You sacrifice reading the entire passage deeply for the speed you need just to find the answer's factual basis.
Look, if you spend 7 minutes reading passage 1 perfectly, word for word, you've basically stolen 7 minutes that passage 3 desperately needed.
Got it. So it's about finding the location first, then applying the precision. It's like triage in a way.
Exactly like triage. Good way to put it.
Okay, so speaking of reading smart, that speed is great, but it only helps if you know what kind of task you're actually facing. You can't use a screwdriver for a nail.
Right. So let's unpack this. Our sources make it really clear. Different question types need different moves, different tactics. Absolutely. You need to recognize the question type almost instantly because that recognition, it tells you the shortcut, the specific maneuver to use.
Okay, so what are the main ones? Well, there are 3 big ones we should focus on. First up, everyone's favorite. True, false, not given. Ugh, yeah.
Tricky.
They can be. The key here is absolute precision. You're matching the statement and the question directly against the information in the text. Does it agree? That's true. Does it contradict? That's false.
And not given.
Not given. means the information just isn't there.
Yeah.
The text doesn't confirm it, but it doesn't contradict it either. It's just absent.
So the strategy is careful fact-checking.
Very careful. And watch out for those absolute words like all, never, always. If the question uses one, you need solid proof in the text. If it's not there, it's often false or not given.
Okay, that makes sense. Then there's matching headings. That one feels like it could eat up so much time, right? Comparing a whole paragraph to a list of options.
You can be a time sink if you approach it the wrong way. But there's a powerful shortcut. It's based on how academic paragraphs are usually built.
Oh, what is it?
Focus almost entirely on the first sentence and the last sentence of each paragraph.
Really?
Yeah.
Just the first and last? Pretty much. Think about it. The main idea, the topic, it's usually introduced right at the start. And often it's summarized or transitioned away from in the final sentence. And the middle.
The middle. That's usually the supporting stuff. Examples, data, quotes, explanations.
Okay.
You generally don't need to read all that detail just to figure out the paragraph's main topic for a heading match.
Wow, okay. That could save minutes.
It really does.
Yeah.
You're essentially cutting out the filler for that specific task.
Okay, crucial distinction. And the third big type, multiple choice. Now, normally people read the question and then hunt through the text, trying to spot the right answer. A, B, C, or D.
Yeah, that's the intuitive way.
Yeah.
But it's not always the most efficient or the safest.
So what's the smarter play?
It's more like detective work. Use a process of elimination.
Ah.
Test creators are really good at writing attractive distractors. These are options that look right. Maybe they use keywords from the passage, but they're actually subtly wrong.
Sneaky.
Very. So instead of looking for the right answer, focus on finding the wrong ones first. Read the question, go to the relevant part of the text, and then look at options A, B, C, D. Actively try to disprove them. Find evidence that makes them false or contradicts them.
And what's left should be the answer.
Often, yes. By eliminating the definite wrongs, you're left with the correct one. And you're less likely to be tricked by those plausible-sounding distractors. Okay, so the big takeaway here is know your question type instantly. Is it TFNG, matching headings, multiple choice? Because that recognition is the aha moment. It tells you how to act, how to save those vital seconds.
Yeah.
Exactly. It dictates your strategy.
All right, let's shift gears a bit. We've talked technique, now let's talk content prep, especially looking ahead. All these smart reading skills are great, but if the words themselves trip you up,
then you're stuck.
So let's talk about what seems to be a growing challenge, particularly for the, 2025 context, vocabulary. What's the big shift here?
Well, the trend we're seeing, and the sources really highlight this, is a much heavier reliance on paraphrasing.
Okay, explain that.
The people writing the exam, they know about skimming and scanning for keywords now. So they're making it harder. They're intentionally avoiding using the exact same words from the question in the text.
So you can't just match words anymore.
Not reliably, no. They're testing if you understand the meaning, even when it's expressed differently. They're testing your linguistic flexibility.
Okay, give me an example. If the passage talks about, say, economic decline.
Right. The question probably won't use economic decline. It might say a downturn in the markets, or reduced financial activity, or a period of contraction.
Wow. Completely different words, different structure sometimes.
Exactly. They might change nouns to verbs, adjectives to adverbs, swap keywords for synonyms, rephrase entire clauses. This means your vocabulary prep can't just be learning definitions from a list.
So what should you do?
When you learn a new word, you need to actively learn and practice. Maybe it's 2 or 3 closest synonyms. Think about how else that idea could be expressed. Your preparation needs to move beyond simple word matching. It's got to be about understanding the semantics, the underlying meaning.
So it's really a critical thinking task then. It's about connecting the same idea when it's dressed up in different clothes, essentially.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. If you only memorize decline means go down, but you don't practice recognizing contraction or downturn as expressing the same core concept in context, well, you're going to miss things.
The exam's testing if you get the idea, even when the language is totally rearranged.
Yeah.
Precisely. And that leads us perfectly into the next crucial piece, strategy 4, practice and performance. Because knowing all this stuff in theory, great. Doing it under pressure, whole different ballgame.
Right.
You can know the rules, but you have to play the game. The source material is really insistent on specific practice requirements. What does good, effective practice actually involve? It absolutely must copy the real exam conditions. The pressure needs to be there. So the key things, totally non-negotiable. Set a timer, 60 minutes. Okay.
And use real, authentic IELTS practice tests, or at least high-quality ones that mimic the format and difficulty. You can't just casually read through passages whenever you feel like it.
Why is that timed element so vital?
Because the goal isn't just speed, and it isn't just accuracy. It's building both together.
Think about it. If you practice slowly and carefully, you get everything right, great. But you've only solved half the problem. You'll run out of time.
Right.
If you just practice reading super fast, but don't care about getting answers right, well, you're just training yourself to pick wrong answers efficiently.
Okay. Fair.
You have to find that sweet spot, that balance point between moving quickly and being accurate. And you only find that balance by practicing under the pressure of the clock.
And doing that consistently, that simulation, that leads directly to the right mindset on test day, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The sources really stress staying calm during the actual test. But here's the thing. Calmness isn't just something you decide to feel on the day. No, that confidence, that calm, it's earned. It comes directly from doing those timed practice sessions again and again. When you finally sit down for the real test and that clock starts ticking,
if you've already done 10, 15, 20 timed reading sections under similar conditions, your brain goes, oh, I know this. This is familiar. The task isn't new and terrifying. And that familiarity drastically reduces anxiety. Simulation builds the bridge between knowing what to do and actually doing it calmly and effectively. Fantastic. Okay, this feels like a really solid, complete roadmap for hitting the IELTS reading section hard. We started with that absolute necessity, managing the clock through smart skimming and scanning. Skim to find the area, scan to pinpoint the answer.
Right.
Localization, then precision.
Then we dug into those specific tactics for different question types, the precision needed for true-false not given, that brilliant first and last sentence shortcut for matching headings.
A real time saver. And using elimination, not just searching, for multiple choice. Then we tackled that crucial 2025 challenge, vocabulary, focusing hard on synonyms and really mastering paraphrasing, understanding the idea, not just the word.
Exactly. And finally, wrapping it all together with that non-negotiable need for timed, realistic practice. Simulating the test to build both speed and accuracy, and crucially, the confidence that comes with it.
Yeah. Essentially, what we've laid out today gives you the tools to see the reading section less as a test of how well you comprehend English and more like a strategic puzzle you need to solve efficiently. These are targeted moves designed specifically to beat that clock and leverage the way the exam is built.
Okay, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to circle back to that idea about vocabulary and understanding, meaning paraphrasing. We talked about how the test forces you to connect historic architecture with ancient remnants, right? Think about this for a second, beyond the test. How often in your work or studies or just daily life do you absolutely need to find the exact same words someone else used?
Probably not that often, really.
Right. But think about the power you gain, the flexibility, when you train yourself to grasp the core idea, the essential meaning, even if the words are totally different, the sentence structured backwards. That skill, holding on to the concept no matter how it's expressed, that's way bigger than just an IELTS score. That's a real intellectual tool.
That's a great final thought. It elevates the prep beyond just the test itself.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into IELTS reading strategy. We genuinely hope these insights help you walk into that exam feeling prepared, capable, and totally confident.